This is Dr. Mark Kavanaugh doing another little instructional video on using Brightspace. Now, this particular video is being made in response to knowledge that came to us that the system and the administration at KVCC is going to be connecting the grading system to the grade books inside of Brightspace. So us faculty will not have to submit grades at the end of the semester. We simply make sure that our grade books are all up to date, and then they'll take it from there. In addition, they've requested that we construct our grade books so that the final grade gives an estimate as to how well that person is doing at any given time. When as many of you know, I created all the courses, most of the courses in the department. And when I create a grade book, I put the final calculation in there. Everything's all set to go, but it kind of for the entire semester will reflect that the student is failing because it's counting all the things that haven't even become due yet. So I've been thinking about how to modify that in my own classes and provide you with the ability to be able to do that as well. So what I'm going to demonstrate here is I'm going to go into the master template for social sciences. You'll do the same thing in your grade book. There's no students, there's not even any assignments in this grade book, but yeah, I can still demonstrate these settings. And what this is going to do is it's going to maintain the final grade based on what has been completed up until that time. So let's take a look at Brightspace. So here are the entry into this. This is a blank course shell. You want to go to grades and then to schemes. To setup wizard. The setup wizard right now, this is the default, is based on points and whatnot. When you get your course, if I've set up the grade book, it's based on weighted grades already, so some of these steps you won't have to do, but nonetheless, I'm going to show you the whole process here. So I go down to these are the current settings. I go to start, and the first choice that we get is, are we going to grade by points or are we going to grade weighted? And we would select weighted because we still have categories of assignments, like quizzes are worth something and discussions are worth something, assignments are worth something, that kind of scheme. And I go to continue. And then we have the calculated final grade and automate final grade release. Here I don't change anything here. Go to the next step. Here's the magic. Up until now, it's drop ungraded items or treat ungraded items as 0. I usually put treat ungraded items as 0. Now I'm going to say drop ungraded items and just leave it right there. That means it won't count those ungraded parts of the course yet. And then for some of you, you have this automatic 0 for missing submissions, which will place a 0 once the assessment becomes overdue. Now, it might come as a surprise to some of you, but in the courses that I create, I have the timeline, the course timeline that has links and it shows when everything is due. But I actually don't replicate those in the quizzes and assignments. The quizzes and assignments are open. There's no due dates in them. You may put due dates in there. That's fine. I simply don't put them. I have them listed as, in the course timeline. That's good enough for me. 99 times out of 100, it's not a problem. And if a student has to get into an assignment late, I don't have to go in and open it up for them. So there's a little bit of laziness in there, but I really haven't had any trouble with people keeping up with the class, even though I haven't gone in and placed those strict due dates within the actual quizzes and assignments. If you do put those due dates in there, meaning after that due date, that person's not going to be able to click on that quiz or that assignment, then you can use this feature, which is right here, automatically apply a grade of 0. Otherwise, what I have to do is when I go in and grade something, I then go to the grade book and I manually put the zeros in. That whole set of grades will now count toward that final grade piece. So let's return to this setup. So I'm going to drop ungraded items. I set it as a percentage. That's my default scheme. I usually set these to 0, so everything rounds. I also usually uncheck all of these, and I just want the points graded. And I set these to 0, leave that at 50, and display final grade calculation to users so they know how the final grade is being calculated. Continue. It brings me back to that summary of what is now the settings, and I press finish. Now the gradebook is set up the way I just did it. The gradebook is set up to only count what the student has done. Assume everything is dropped. They would, if there's only one assignment that they've done, they've got an A for the course. So, and if they scored well, so they get that one, and then 2 assignments. The whole final grade is just being based on those 2 assignments. That will maintain the final grade as reflective of what they've done so far. But I've chosen not to put due dates in, so I'm not taking advantage of the automatic 0. So when I go to grade, I'm going to have to manually put the zeros in. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with doing that for the luxury of not having to reset due dates whenever someone wants to have an extension on something. So I'm sending this out to all of you so you can go into your individual grade books. When I get the next set for spring done, I'll go in and I'll make those adjustments. Hopefully I'll remember to do that. But now you know how to do it. So this is going to be a change in the way we have managed our grade books up until now, a minor change. And let's see how it works. Let's see if it's helpful for students to know how they're doing as they go along. What I've been doing is I've actually been hiding that column. I've been hiding the final grade column. So all they're aware of is the grades that are popping up. There's no feedback mechanism on an ongoing basis to what their final grade looks like. It's not a real grade. You and I know that. You know that there are big assignments at the end, oftentimes in the class, that would change everything dramatically. But at this point, that's what the college is asking for us to do. And let's give it a try, and let's see if it helps students understand where they are in the class. So that's it for right now. Have a great semester, and please go into your grade books, make these adjustments, and give me any feedback if you hear about anything plus or minus. I'm interested to see how this is going to work. All right, take care and have a great semester.